Come closer, traveller. Warm your hands by the fire. Tonight I offer you a tale pulled from the misty hollows of England's haunted countryside. A story forgotten by most, but still feared by the old folk. Whispered by candlelight when the winds howl through the yew trees. Tonight I tell you of the Grampus, the tree-dwelling sea monster of Highclere. Now Highclere to most is a name that conjures grand images of the towering castle. You might know it from dramatic tales of aristocrats, but long before the lords and ladies strolled its manicured grounds, this village in the north of Hampshire near the Berkshire border was known for something far less refined and far more unsettling. At the heart of the village stands Highclere Church, old, weathered, surrounded by gravestones leaned at odd angles, and just beyond those stones stands a gnarled ancient yew tree, black-barked and older than the church itself. It was in that tree, they say, the Grampus made its home. To imagine the Grampus is to blur the lines between the familiar and the monstrous. The villagers say it looked, at first glance, like a dolphin or porpoise. A smooth, grey creature, perhaps no more than 5 or 6 feet long. But that's where the resemblance ended. Its eyes were wrong, too wide, too aware. Its skin slick, but tinged with unnatural hues, like oil on water. Most disturbing of all was its breathing. A raspy, wet, laboured wheeze echoed through the churchyard like a dying bellows. They say the beast puffed like a whale, a sound that could chill your spine even in summer. This wheezing, combined with its shape, may be why the villagers gave it the name Grampus. Now, the Grampus wasn't known to maim or kill. Not exactly. But its behaviour was no less terrifying. It was said to lurk in the branches of the yew, watching, waiting, and if a villager, especially a young woman, passed too close to the tree, the creature would leap, or perhaps float, down from its perch with shocking speed. It would chase them, shrieking, its body somehow moving without legs or wings. No one could agree on how it travelled, only that it did. And when the villagers tried to confront it, it would vanish into the shadows of the graveyard, slipping between tombstones like smoke. Fear grew. Children refused to go near the church. Women avoided the graveyard entirely. The village elders began to speak in hushed tones of demons, spirits, and omens. Desperate, the people turned to their local clergyman, whose name has been lost to time, and begged for divine intervention. The priest agreed, though it said his hands trembled as he approached the yew. He came armed with the ancient rite, bell, book and candle. The exorcism took place at dusk beneath the sky gone crimson. Witnesses claimed the air grew foul, thick with brine. As the final Latin phrases rang out, the Grampus let out a scream, a sound like a drowning man and a harpooned whale all at once, and was cast out. The priest declared it banished to the Red Sea for 1,000 years. Of course, skeptics, even back then, said it was superstition, mass panic, a strange animal misidentified. But cryptid researchers today suggest something more. They point to the creature's marine appearance, its behaviour, the heavy, wet breath. Could the Grampus have been an evolutionary holdout? A relic? Perhaps some ancient cetacean, a cousin to the whale or porpoise, that adapted to land after ages in the sea? Consider the Ambulocetus, a predator from the Eocene epoch, often called the walking whale. It hunted in shallow waters and dragged itself onto land. Some believe the Grampus was a freak echo of that lineage, one that found its way into the folklore of Highclere. And that name, Grampus, isn't without precedent. In the 1800s, naturalists like William Nicholson refer to the orca or killer whale as a Grampus. In Japan, the term shashi, meaning killer whale, is also translated as Grampus. Could this creature have been dubbed so for its puffing breath, its sea beast shape? Some even believe the old phrase, puffing like a Grampus, has its roots in these very tales. In 1890, a curious passage appeared in the Life and Letters of Sir Stafford Northcote. Northcote, a respected statesman and lover of ghost stories, mentioned a visit to Highclere in autumn. He jotted in his diary, "Mr. Blank had the advantage of us in having seen a ghost. He expected a visit from Grampus, the Highclere bogey, who, it is true, had been laid in the Red Sea for 100 years, but his time there was now nearly expired." Some say it was a typo, that Grampus has to be gone for 1,000 years, not 100. But if Northcote's note is to be believed, the beast's banishment may have ended around the turn of the 20th century. Has anyone seen it since? If they have, they're not speaking. So next time you pass a quiet village church and see a dark yew tree hunched over the graves, listen. If you hear wheezing in the branches, if you feel eyes watching you from above, run, don't look back, because the Grampus may have returned. And this time it might not be content to puff and wheeze from the shadows. So ends my tale of the Grampus. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this tale from Britain's wild places, subscribe and ring the bell for more myths, legends and stories that linger where the earth is oldest.